All right, so we just listened to our whale sounds and got those sensory parts of our brain tingling. It was really, really fun. We watched some fun videos of whales. We passed around our whale plushie that we felt in our hands. So now we are going to move into our actual lesson for the day on Amazing Whales, this very fun book that we're going to be reading through together. So before we start reading through this, first I want to have you guys turn to your partners and talk about a few things that you already know about whales. So go ahead for a quick second, talk to your partners, and say a few things that you already know about whales. All right, let's bring it back together in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. So what are some things that we already know about whales? Right, so we know that whales are big. What else do we know about whales? Whales are blue. So we'll read about whether maybe there are some whales that are not necessarily blue. There is one whale called the blue whale that we're going to read about. So let's keep that in our minds and we'll come back to it and see if we maybe learn something else based on what we read. So we are going to move on to our books now. And I want you to keep all those great things that you already know in your minds as we are reading through all of this new information. We're going to be sitting for a while, so take a second and shake it out, get the wiggles out, get ready. And then once you're ready, I want you to take a deep breath. We're going to sit crisscross, have our listening ears on, and we are going to start moving through this story. So first, before we read, I want to do a pre-read with you guys. Wow. So during this pre-read, we are essentially going to try and see what we can learn about this story without actually reading it. So one of the things that we're going to do first, and this is something that we can carry with us through any informational or even narrative text that we read in the future, is we can pre-read to get a better idea of what we're diving into. So for a pre-read, let's start with the cover. First of all, what's our title? Let's read it. What's our title? Amazing Whales, or in Spanish, it is ballenas. So Amazing Whales. Beautiful. And what do we notice on the cover? Does anyone know what kind of whale is on the cover? Yeah, a killer whale. So we have killer whales on the cover. So we know that a killer whale is going to be in here. And let's flip through the pictures. I'm not going to guide you guys through this. I want you to kind of explore and look through the pictures for a second and tell me what you are noticing in the pictures and see if there's anything that we can learn from it. So go ahead and raise your hand when you have a kind of connection or something that you're noticing, an observation that you want to make. Right, so someone just told us that on this page, there's not just whales. We see what? We see dolphins. So I wonder how dolphins are going to end up connecting to whales. So we know we're going to learn about some other creatures besides whales. I wonder what we're going to learn about. What else do we notice? So someone said that it's not the same kind of whale, that it doesn't match the whale on the front cover is what someone said. So we're seeing some different types of whales. So we know that we're not just learning about one whale, we're going to learn about many. And what else do we notice on any of the pictures? Oh, that some of the last photos are of people, not whales. So I wonder what that could be. Why do you think we could have photos of people? This guy's a scuba diver. Why do we think that we would have photos of this person inside of a book about whales? Right, so there's a person, someone noticed that the whale is in a net. So maybe someone hurt a whale? We're going to have to read through that and see what we're going to find out. So we're going to read through. After every few pages, I'm going to ask you guys some questions. Let's have our listening ears on. Let's calm our bodies and let's get ready to read Amazing Whales, written by Sarah Thompson. Remember, we want to be listening and following along, reading at the same time. So we're activating two parts of our brain. We're reading and listening at the same time so we can get all of that information inside of our beautiful minds. So a blue whale is as long as a basketball court. Its eyes are as big as softballs. Its tongue weighs as much as an elephant. So how big are they? How big is a basketball court? What about their eyes? Beautiful, big as softballs. It is the biggest animal that has ever lived on Earth. Bigger than any dinosaur. So what's the biggest whale that's ever lived? Biggest animal, sorry. It's a whale. Give me this the answer on accident. But not all whales are this big. Which one were we just learning about? What was its name? A blue whale. So not all whales are this big. A killer whale is about as big as a fire truck. So not quite as big as a basketball court. Dolphins and porpoises are whales too. So that's why we have pictures of dolphins and porpoises, because they are technically also whales. So when you guys choose a whale to study, you can choose a dolphin and a porpoise if you'd like to. The smallest dolphin is only 5 feet long. That is probably shorter than your mom. Think of your mom and think of a dolphin. Let's imagine that. Let's close our eyes and visualize for a second. There are about 80 kinds of whales, and all of them are mammals. Dogs and monkeys and people are mammals too. This means that their blood stays at the same temperature, even if the air or weather around them gets hot or cold. So what are we? We're mammals, and whales are also mammals because our blood stays the same temperature. Mammal babies drink milk from their mothers. Whale babies are called calves. Beautiful. The babies of what other animal are called calves? Yeah, cows. And mammals must breathe air. A whale must swim to the ocean surface to breathe, or it will drown. After a whale calf is born, its mother may lift it up for its first breath of air. So there are some similarities between us and these whales, right? They also need oxygen to breathe just like we do. A whale uses its blowholes to breathe. It can have one blowhole or two, and the blowholes are on the top of its head. When a whale breathes out, the warm air makes a cloud called blow. Then the whale breathes in. Its blowhole squeezes shut. The whale dives under the water. It holds its breath, and then it comes back up. So what is it called? That cloud around? The blow is what it's called. Great job. And good job being active listeners. When sperm whales hunt, they dive deeper than any other whale. They can hold their breath for longer than an hour and dive down more than a mile. How far can they go down? A mile. More than a mile even. Deep in the ocean, where the water is dark and cold, sperm whales hunt for giant squid and other animals. Some whales, like sperm whales, have teeth to catch their food. They are called toothed whales. So which ones? What are their names? Yep, some whales, so sperm whales have teeth. Other whales have no whales. They are called baleen whales. Let's say that together. Baleen whales. Blue whales and humpback whales are baleen whales. They have strips of baleen in their mouths. Baleen is made of the same stuff as your fingernails, everyone. Yeah, let's tap our fingernails and feel that and try and imagine that as teeth. It is strong, but it can bend. A baleen whale fills its mouth with water. In the water, there might be fish or krill. Krill are tiny animals like shrimp. The whale closes its mouth. The water flows back out between the strips of baleen. The fish or krill are trapped inside its mouth for the whale to eat. That's crazy, huh? Some whales, like killer whales, hunt in groups to catch their food. These groups are called pods. A whale mother and her children, and even her grandchildren, sometimes live in one pod. So what are they called? Yeah, they live in pods. Yep, they're traveling in pods. When all the killer whales hunt together, they can kill and eat a whale bigger than they are. Male humpback whales make sounds over and over like a song. Their songs go on for hours. No one is sure why they sing. Humpback whales also jump out of the water and splash back down. Yep, look at the picture, he's jumping out. People think this may be a way whales signal to other whales, but no one knows for sure. Once, there were more than 100,000 humpback whales. Now there are probably less than 30,000. One kind of right whale is in even more trouble. There are only 300 left. People around the world have made rules to protect big whales, like humpback and right whales, but some people break the rules. People dump trash or spill oil in the ocean, and they destroy the places where whales live. Whales also get hit by boats or caught in fishing nets. Scientists go out in boats to count how many whales are still alive. They also follow whales and listen to the sounds that whales make. They ask questions like, are the whales in one pod one family? Why do they sing to each other? How can we keep these whales safe? New rules help us to protect whales. The number of pumpbacks has grown, but whales are still in danger and they need help to survive. We can make safe places where whales will not be hunted or hurt by boats and nests. With our help, whales will swim in the ocean for a long time to come. All right, thank you guys for listening so diligently to that read aloud. So I'm going to have you guys take a quick second and tell me, why is it important that we help whales? Why is it important that we're even learning about whales? Is a better way for me to phrase that question. Because whales are in trouble. Why are whales in trouble? Because of who? Let's go back to our book. Let's flip back. Why are whales in trouble? Because of us, right? Because of people, because of hunters. So it's so important that we are learning about whales right now. And what are the types of whales that we learned about? Baleen whales. We learned about blue whales, right? So we learned about lots of different types of whales. Killer whales. So you guys are going to pick a whale to study for the next project. And those of you who feel ready to take on a challenge are also going to be able to pick more than one whale to study. And we're going to start working on our fact sheet, where we're going to practice going through and picking out facts about our specific kind of whale, which we will get started on now.